Be me, 23. Living in a converted warehouse loft in the up-and-coming district. Rent is astronomical, but the vibe is essential for the creative process. Just finished a degree in Sonic Arts and Digital Media. Parents paid for it. Well, Dad paid for it. Tell everyone I'm a soundscape architect. Basically, I mix ambient noise with lo-fi beats and try to sell it on Bandcamp. Friends say I have visionary energy. Grew up on a dirt road cattle ranch 3 hours from civilization. The kind of place where vacation meant fixing fences in 100-degree heat. Dad is the archetype of the vanishing American cowboy. Skin like leather, hands like sandpaper, emotional range of a fence post. Never saw him without a hat, never saw him without dirt under his nails. Mom left when I was 12. Said the silence of the plains was drowning her. Dad didn't fight for her. Just watched her drive off, then went to check the feed troughs. I learned early that feelings were useless currency out there. Always resented him for that. Hated the smell of diesel and manure that clung to his clothes. Hated the way he'd fall asleep in the armchair at 8 p.m. with the Weather Channel on. Swore I'd get out. Swore I'd be someone important in a city that never sleeps. Fast forward to now. Sitting in a coffee shop that serves deconstructed lattes. Surrounded by my chosen family, Jax, who wears $600 work boots but has never stepped in mud. Chloe, who makes sculptures out of trash and talks about generational trauma. And Silas, a trust fund kid who plays poverty for clout. We're talking about our roots. It's a competition of who had the most stifling upbringing. I take a sip of my oat milk cortado and sigh. You guys don't get it, I say, looking out the window at the rain. My dad is like, he's not even a person, he's a machine. He cares more about the herd than he ever cared about my art. I sent him my debut EP last week, and he didn't even open the link. Chloe nods sympathetically, adjusting her oversized glasses. That's classic toxic stoicism, she says. He's threatened by your emotional fluidity. Exactly, I say, feeling vindicated. He thinks if you aren't bleeding, you aren't working. It's archaic. Phone buzzes on the table. It's him. Dad flashes on the screen. I let it ring. Aren't you going to get that? Silas asks. I roll my eyes. Probably just wants to tell me a cow died or the tractor is broken. He doesn't understand that I'm in a meeting. I send it to voicemail. Later that night, I listen to the message. Voice sounds raspy, wind blowing in the background. Hey kid, just checking in. Sent you a little something for rent. Hope the music thing is going good. Call me when you can. Check my bank account. $1 500 transfer. A little something. I know cattle prices are down. I know the drought has been brutal this year. But I don't think about that. I just think about the new synthesizer I've been eyeing. The Moog Matriarch. It's the missing piece of my setup. I transfer the money to my savings, labeled Gear Fund. Justify it by telling myself he owes me for the emotional neglect. If he can't be a dad, he can be a sponsor. A week later, my car breaks down. Well, car is generous. It's a vintage Volvo I bought for the aesthetic. Mechanic says the transmission is shot. Quote is $2,000. I panic. Rent is due in 10 days. I spent the rent money Dad sent on the synth. Because art is an investment. I call him back. He answers on the second ring. Everything okay? No, hello, no, how are you? Just straight to the problem. My car died, Dad. I'm screwed. I can't get to gigs without it. Silence on the other end. Just the sound of heavy machinery idling. How much? He asks. $2,000, I mumble, feeling a prick of shame but shoving it down. He sighs. A long, heavy exhale that sounds like air brakes releasing. I don't have it liquid right now, son. Can't you wait a week? I'm moving some steers on Tuesday. Anger flares up instantly. A week? Dad, I have a showcase on Friday. If I don't have the car, I can't haul my gear. This is my career, you know, the thing I went to college for? The thing you barely ask about. I'm not asking for a handout, I'm asking for support. Just this once. He's quiet for a long time. I know, kid, I know. Let me see what I can do. Give me an hour. He hangs up. I go back to the group chat. Dad literally holding my career hostage over a few grand. He has the land, he has the cows, he's just being difficult. Boomers hold on to wealth like dragons. Jax replies with a skull emoji. They want us to fail, so we have to move back and live by their rules. Stay strong, King. An hour later, my phone pings. Notification from the bank. $2,000 deposited. Text from Dad, sorted. Good luck at the show. I don't reply, thanks. I just heart the message. Minimum effort. Figure he just sold some old junk or dipped into a retirement fund. He definitely has. Fix the car. Buy the synth. Play the showcase. It's in a basement venue. Smells like stale beer and pretension. Maybe 30 people show up. Most of them are on their phones. I play my set, tweaking knobs, eyes closed, feeling transcendent. Afterwards, Chloe tells me it was raw and vulnerable. I feel like a god. Post a photo on Instagram. Caption: built this from nothing, no handouts, just grind. Dad likes the photo. Doesn't comment. He never comments. Summer rolls around. Heat wave hits the city. AC in the loft breaks. Landlord is a ghost. Decide to visit the ranch for a weekend, just to escape the concrete oven. Haven't been back in 6 months. Drive up the long gravel lane. Dust plumes behind the Volvo. Place looks different. Grass is yellow and brittle. Fences look leaned over, wire sagging. The big red barn has peeling paint, looks almost gray in the harsh sun. Dad is in the driveway working on the baler. Grease up to his elbows. Shirt stained with sweat and oil. He looks smaller than I remember, like he's shrinking inside his skin. Walks with a limp I don't recognize. Hey, he says, wiping his hands on a rag that's dirtier than his hands. Make it in okay? Yeah, I say, shielding my eyes with my expensive sunglasses. Place looks kinda beat, Dad. You let the landscaping go? He looks at the dead lawn, then back at me. Been focused on the herd. Water's expensive. We go inside. House smells like old coffee and dust. Same furniture from 1999. Piles of paperwork on the kitchen table. Unopened envelopes. So, I say, opening the fridge. Empty except for a carton of milk, some eggs, and a pack of bologna. You livin' like a monk now? He shrugs, pouring himself tap water. Eat mostly at the diner in town. Easier. Right, I say, closing the fridge. Well, I'm gonna head to my room and set up my mobile studio. Need to record some field samples. Silence out here is good for texture. He nods. Supper at 6. I'll grill some steaks. Sure. I go upstairs. My old room is exactly how I left it. Posters of bands he hated. Trophies from sports he forced me to play. I set up my laptop. Put on noise-canceling headphones. Block out the house. Block out him. Dinner is awkward. Just the two of us at a table meant for 4. Steaks are tough. Overcooked. So, he starts, voice rusty. How's the sound architecture going? He tries to use the right words. I can tell he practiced them. It's going well, I say, cutting a piece of gristle. Getting some traction online. Might have a label interested in Berlin. This is a lie, but it sounds good. His eyes light up a bit. Berlin? Germany? That's far. It's the capital of techno, Dad. You wouldn't get it. He nods, looking down at his plate. Right, I'm proud of you, you know. Doing your own thing. I scoff internally. Thanks, I say flatly. Listen, Dad, I was thinking. If this Berlin thing happens, I'm gonna need a ticket. And a place to stay for a month. It's an investment. Once I get signed, I'll pay you back tenfold. He stops chewing. Sets his fork down very carefully. Looks at his hands. Those gray, cracked hands. How much would that be? I don't know, maybe 3-4 grand? Whatever you have stashed away. I mean, you own this whole place. Land rich, right? I laugh. He doesn't laugh. He looks pale. I can't right now, son. Things are tight. Tighter than usual. I slam my fork down. Noise echoes in the empty kitchen. Are you serious? Every time, Dad. Every time I'm on the verge of something huge, you pull the rug. You just want me to stay here and rot with you. You want me to drive a tractor and shovel shit? He looks up, eyes wet. No, I never wanted that for you. That's why I sent you away. That's why I paid for the school. But the well is dry, kid. There's nothing left to draw from. I stand up. Whatever. I'm going back to the city in the morning. I'll figure it out myself, like I always do. I storm out. Leave him sitting at the table with the cold steaks. Drive back to the city the next day. Furious. Vent to the group chat. He's literally sitting on hundreds of acres and claims he's broke. Gaslighting 101. He just doesn't want me to surpass him. Silas replies, cut him off. You don't need that negative energy blocking your chakras. Real family supports the vision. I decide they're right. I stop calling. Stop texting. Birthday comes around 2 months later. Get a card in the mail. Generic, for my son, card from the dollar store. Inside is a check for $50 and a note written in shaky cursive. Buy yourself a good dinner. Love, Dad. I laugh. $50? In this economy? I tear the check up. Post a picture of the torn pieces on my private story. Caption, thanks for the support, old man. Friends reply with laughing emojis. Savage, Jack says. I feel powerful, detached, cooler than him. Winter comes. Hard winter. Get a call from a number? I don't know. Area code is from back home. Assume it's a bill collector or something. Ignore it. They call again. And again. Finally answer, annoyed. What? Voice on the other end is unfamiliar. Is this Anon? Yeah, who's this? This is Sheriff Miller, your dad's neighbor. Stomach drops. What happened? Did he get arrested? I almost laugh at the idea. No, son, we found him in the North Pasture. Collapsed. He's at the county hospital. It's not looking good. You need to come, now. The anger evaporates. Replaced by a cold, hollow dread. Drive the 3 hours in 2.5. Speeding tickets be damned. Hospital smells like antiseptic and despair. Find his room. He's hooked up to machines. Beeping. Hissing. He looks tiny in the bed. Skin gray as ash. Nurse comes in. Are you the son? Yeah. Doctor will be in shortly, but prepare yourself. He's been fighting pneumonia for weeks, didn't seek treatment. Body is just exhausted. I sit in the plastic chair. Grab his hand. It's cold. Rough callus feels like sandpaper against my soft, lotion-moisturized palm. Dad? Eyes flutter open. Hazy. Unfocused. Hey, kid? Voice is a whisper. You made it. Yeah, Dad, I'm here. Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you tell me you were sick? He tries to smile. Didn't want to distract you. Berlin, right? You gotta keep focused. Tears sting my eyes. Dad, shut up about Berlin. It was just a stupid idea. He squeezes my hand. Weak grip. Not stupid. You're special. Don't let the farm tie you down. I took care of it. He closes his eyes. Breathing gets shallow. Alarms start beeping. Nurses rush in. Push me out. I stand in the hallway, listening to the chaos. Then silence. Then the doctor comes out. Face solemn. I'm sorry. World goes blurry. Funeral is small. Mostly old men in cowboy hats. People I haven't seen since I was a kid. They shake my hand. Your dad was a good man. Hardest worker in the county. Never complained. I nod. numb. After the burial, I go back to the ranch house. It's freezing inside. Heater is off. Start going through his papers. Trying to find the will. Trying to figure out what to do with the hundreds of acres. Find a box under his bed. Labeled for Anon. Open it. Inside are stacks of letters, bank statements, and a ledger. I start reading. Date from 4 years ago, tuition, sold the South Creek parcel. Date from 3 years ago, rent assistance, sold the tractor, leased the old one back. Date from last year, new gear for kid, took loan against the house. My hands start shaking. I dig deeper. Find the foreclosure notices. Final notice, dated 2 weeks ago. Find a letter from a real estate developer. Sale confirmation. He sold the land. All of it. The house, the barns, the pastures. Everything his father gave him. Everything he spent his life bleeding for. Closing date was the day after he collapsed. Note attached to the sale document in his handwriting. Proceeds go to Anon Trust. Ensure he gets it all. I don't need anything. I stare at the paper. The numbers don't make sense. He wasn't sitting on a gold mine. He was drowning. He was cannibalizing his entire life, piece by piece, to feed my delusions. Every time I asked for money. Every time I needed a bailout. He didn't just write a check. He sold a piece of himself. He sold the view from the porch. He sold the soil his mother was buried in. He sold his own future so I could play pretend in the city. I look at the gear fund transfer in my banking app history. That $2,000 for the car transmission? Cross-reference the ledger. Sold breeding bull Hercules to slaughterhouse. Quick cash. He killed his prize bull. The pride of his herd. So I wouldn't have to take the bus. I feel sick. Physically violent ill. I run to the bathroom and heave. Nothing comes up but bile. Walk back to the kitchen. See his boots by the door. Worn through the soles. Holes in the toes. Duct tape around the heel. I remember making fun of those boots. Get some Red Wings, Dad. You look like a hobo. He never bought new ones. Because new boots meant $200 less for me. Phone buzzes. It's the group chat. Jax. Hey man, sorry about your dad. But listen, big warehouse rave on Saturday. We need your set. It'll be cathartic. Chloe. Yeah, channel that grief. Make it art. Silas. Did he leave you the land? We could turn it into an eco-commune/studio space. I stare at the screen. The words look like alien hieroglyphs. Channel the grief. Turn it into a studio. They don't know. They're vultures. Just like I was. I type a response. There is no land. Delete it. Type, he sold it all for me. Delete it. Simply type, I'm out. Leave the group chat. Block their numbers. Delete Instagram. Sit in the cold kitchen as the sun goes down. Shadows stretch across the linoleum. The house creaks. Sound of the wind rattling the loose window frame. Used to annoy me. Now it sounds like a hymn. Pick up the ledger again. Turn to the last page. Entry from the day he died. Handwriting is barely legible. Pain is bad today. Chest feels tight. But check cleared for the sale. Kid is safe. He can go to Berlin. He can do anything. Worth it. Worth it. I scream. Sound tears out of my throat, raw and ugly. Shatter the silence of the empty house. Throw the ledger across the room. It hits the wall and slides down, landing next to the Dyson vacuum he bought Mom 20 years ago. That she never used. I drive out to the barn. It's empty. No cows. No machinery. Just dust and silence. Stand in the center of the vast, hollow space. Smell the faint scent of diesel and hay, lingering like a ghost. I'm sorry, I whisper. To the rafters. To the dirt floor. To the man who isn't there. I'm so sorry. Silence answers me. Heavy and absolute. I go back to the city a week later. Pack up the loft. Sell the Moog Matriarch. Sell the vintage Volvo. Sell the turntables. Take the money from the land sale. Pay off his debts first. Clear his name. Take the rest. Don't go to Berlin. Don't go to a commune. Buy a small plot of land 2 counties over. Not enough for a ranch. Just enough for a garden and a small house. Get a job at a feed store. Loading bags. Heavy lifting. Back-breaking work. Hands get rough. Nails get dirty. Every night I come home. Tired. Sore. Sit on the porch. Watch the sun go down. Listen to the wind. Sometimes I hear music. Not the lo-fi beats. Not the ambient noise. Just the low, steady rhythm of the earth. And the memory of a raspy voice saying, "Proud of you." I drink my coffee black. Fold my hands. And try to carry the weight he left behind. It's heavy. Heavier than I ever imagined. But I carry it.